Good day, students. Welcome to Module 1 in Arts, which is Arts and Crafts of Luzon. We have attires, fabrics, and tapestries, crafts and accessories, and body ornamentation. For our learning competencies, so the learner identifies characteristics of arts and crafts in specific areas in Luzon. For example, paper mache or taka from Paite, Ifugao wood sculptures or bulul, Cordillera jewelry and pottery, tattoo and Malacca's weaving and pottery or burnay, and etc. What I need to know. Arts and crafts helps us recognize the distinctiveness of a certain culture. They show the kind of living, the resources available in a particular region, the beliefs and traditions, and the artistry and imaginative minds of the people in different places. This module will aid you to discover the characteristics of arts and crafts in specific areas of Luzon, such as attire, fabric, tapestries, crafts, and body ornamentation. Let this module bring you to the world of arts and crafts in Luzon, Highlands, and Lowlands. Philippines is a rich country in terms of arts, which shows the culture and tradition of different regions. Through arts and crafts, folks from different localities are able to show their feelings, skills, beliefs, and way of living. To begin our discussion, let's have first our learning objectives. In this module, you will be able to recognize attire, fabrics and tapestries, crafts and accessories, and body ornamentation in highlands and lowlands of Luzon. Determine characteristics of attire, fabrics and tapestries, crafts and accessories, and body ornamentation in highlands and lowlands of Luzon, and appreciate the importance of the characteristics of attire, fabrics and tapestries, crafts and accessories, and body ornamentation in relation to highlands and lowlands of Luzon's culture. Let's find out what I know. Directions. Choose the best possible answer. Write only the letter of the correct answer on your answer sheet. 1. A dizzying weaving design of Ilocanos that represents the wave of the sea. A. Cain. B. Guinness Palawains. C. Binacol. D. Inabel. The answer is letter C. Binacol. Number 2. A hand-weaving technique of the Ilocanos that is produced using traditional wooden looms. A. Cain. B. Guinness Palawains. C. Ikat. D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. 3. The Southern Kalinga women's wrap-around skirt or tapis. A. Cain. B. Guinness Palawains. C. Binacol. D. Inabel. The answer is letter A. Cain. 4. A burial cloth woven by female elders of Mountain Province. A. Kadangyan. B. Wains. C. Bakwat. D. Calado. The answer is letter A. Kadangyan. 5. A clothes made by gadangs of Nueva Vizcaya, a belt used by mothers after giving birth. A. Kadangyan. B. Wains. C. Bakwat. D. Calado. The answer is letter C. Bakwat. 6. A belt with designs composed of continuous zigzag patterns woven and double-faced with braided warps that end as tassels. A. Cain. B. Guinness Palawains. C. Ikat. D. Inabel. The answer is letter B. Guinness Palawains. 7. It has a design that are inspired by natural elements, patterns that depict different landforms, the colors of nature and animals. A. Cain. B. Guinness Palawains. C. Ikat. D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. Number 8. The word blank of Ilocanos is literally means woven. A. Kain, B. Ginaspalawains, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. 9. It is a hand-woven fabric made by Ilocanos which is more popularly known as Abel Iloco. A. Kain, B. Ginaspalawains, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. 10. Bontox blanket and clothing, a fabric used in wains, lufid, and ginaspalawains. A. Kain, B. Sinusiwan, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. Answer is letter B. Sinusiwan. 11. Some of their textiles are reserved for use only during special occasions such as birth-giving, weddings, and harvesting. A. Tinggians, B. Kalingas, C. Bontoks, D. Gadangs. The answer is letter A. Tinggians. 12. An embroidered formal menswear in the Philippines, and it is the most versatile apparel on special occasions like weddings and formal affairs. A. Borda, B. Barong, C. Bordados, D. Gadangs. The answer is letter B. Barong. 13. Bornay, or locally known as tapayan or banga, are earthenware jars crafted by skillful potters with the use of potter's wheel and kiln. A. Labba, B. Buri, C. Bornay, D. Lingling. The answer is letter C. Bornay. 14. A bowl-shaped coil basket of kalinga that is made from finely split rattan and nito vine. It is used for carrying and storing rice or vegetables. A. Laba, B. Buri, C. Bornay, D. Lingling. The answer is letter A. Laba. 15. A common Asian artifact symbolizing fertility, prosperity, and love found in the Ifugao, Bontoc, and other Cordillera regions of the northern Philippines. A. Laba, B. Buri, C. Bornay, D. Lingling. The answer is letter D. Lingling. 16. Traditional Filipino lip-shaped water made from glutinous rice. A. Vakul, B. Vest, C. Keeping, D. Pastillas wrapper. The answer is letter C. Keeping. 17. It is locally known as Pabalat or Verlas de Pastillas. A. Vakul, B. Vest, C. Keeping, D. Pastillas wrapper. The answer is Pastillas wrapper. 18. The art of creating an entrance arc and other decorative materials mainly from bamboo. A. Singkaban, B. Vakul, C. Keeping, D. Vest. The answer is letter A. Singkaban. 19. A headdress is the headgear for Ivatan women of Batanes that is used to protect them from the heat of the sun and rains. A. Singkaban, B. Vakul, C. Keeping, D. Vest. The answer is letter B. Vakul. 20. Worn by Ivatan men farmers that are made from the leaves of boyavoy, a tree endemic to Batanes. A. Singkaban, B. Vakul, C. Keeping, D. Vest. The answer is letter D. Vest. Moving on to our lesson, let's find out what's due. To have that, let's have first activity 1, which is Kamehameha. Welcome to the world of cartoons and anime. The following are characters from different cartoons and anime character. Identify each cartoon character if it is a Japanese anime or American cartoons. Write your answer in your activity notebook. First character we have Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is American cartoons. Next, number 2, Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is Japanese anime. Number 3, we have Popeye the Sailor. He is an American cartoon. Next, number 4, we have Son Goku. He is a Japanese anime. Number 5, SpongeBob SquarePants. American cartoon. Next, number 6, we have Naruto. He is a Japanese anime. So, based on visual appearances, which picture is closer to reality? American cartoons or Japanese anime? Why? Which of them offers greater details of face structure, body, dressing, etc.? Can you cite some differences in their style? Which do you think uses a wide range of color variants and shades? Explain briefly. Now that you know the differences between Japanese anime and American cartoons, you can now easily distinguish every cartoon character, if it is an American cartoon or a Japanese anime, by simply looking at its characteristics, like style, technique, materials used or medium, and content. In connection with our topic, we also need to identify the characteristics of arts and crafts of Luzon, in order for us to recognize their aesthetic and unique qualities and appreciate the real talents of the artists and the importance of their masterpieces in the community. Relative to this, here are illustrations of textiles in Luzon that show different designs. Can you identify the similarities and differences of the textiles? We have the figure A and figure B. Try to list down all the similarities and differences you can notice from the two pictures of textiles and write your answer in your notebook. The next part of this module will give you an explanation and description of the arts and crafts of highlands and lowlands of Luzon. You need to read and study the characteristics of these arts and crafts in order for you to appreciate this artistic value and culture. As you continue your journey, you will be needing this knowledge in order for you to create your own arts and crafts. What is it? After comparing the two different textiles, you will be able to know the different attires of specific areas, the materials, functions, and use, and even the meaning of the designs and patterns. Moving on to textile, which is attire, fabrics, and tapestries. First, we have inabel. Inabel is a hand-woven fabric made by Ilocanos, which is more popularly known as Abel Iloco. It comes from the root word abel, which means to weave. The word inabel of Ilocanos literally means woven. It is created by skilled artisans using traditional wooden looms. It comes with different patterns inspired by nature. One of the most recognizable patterns of inabel is binakol, also known as binakel, binakael, or binakul. Binakol, or meaning twill, can be easily recognized by its interlocked geometric patterns, which represent the waves of the sea that protects people from the malevolent spirits. Next is kain. Kain is the basic dress for women of Cordillera region. It is a type of wrap-around skirt or tapis in Tagalog, characterized by horizontal stripes bordered by decorated panels along the joints and edges. Uses bright colors, especially fiery red, and embroidered with beads and shells. Some kain use other color like red, yellow, white, black, and green, which signify the color of things in nature. Next is Bontok's fabric. The hand-woven fabrics of Bontok are characterized by different geometric shapes and different shapes of things from nature. Sinusiwan is the Bontok's blanket and clothing wains and lufid and ginaspala wains. Wains and lupid. Wains and lufid are costumes of Igorots from the mountain province. Wains is a long strips of hand-woven loincloth or bahag for men, and lufid is a wrap-around skirt or tapis for women. These clothes mirror the personality of every Igorot and reflect their culture and traditions. Ginaspala wains is a belt worn by a married woman of Bontok and Kankanaay that has inawin designs composed of continuous zigzag pattern. Next is bakwat. Bakwat is a belt used by mothers after giving birth. It is designed with white beads as accents and patterns of rivers and mountains with beadworks on the central portion of the cloth. It is made by Gadang weavers of Nueva Vizcaya. Next, we have Tinggian designs. Tinggian designs are very meaningful for the people of Abra. Their clothing has a simple linear designs, but are assigned with many meanings. Some of their textiles are reserved for use only during special occasions, such as birth-giving, weddings, and harvesting. They use natural dyes from different trees and plants, or mahogany, which is red, jackfruit or ginger, yellow, nara, brown, malatayong, indigo. Next is Batangas embroidery. Piña and juicy are the traditional fabrics in Batangas. In Taal, hand embroideries are characterized by smooth stitches, fine composed of fine delicate shapes, embossed and durable. Barong is an embroidered formal men's wear in the Philippines, and it is the most versatile apparel on special occasions like weddings and formal affairs. Next is crafts. We have Burnay. Burnay, or locally known as tapayan or bangak, is an earthenware jar crafted by skillful potters with the use of potter's wheel and kiln. It is made by a grade A clay and fine sand. Burnay is commonly used for storage of water, grains, fermented fish or bagoong, basi or sugarcane wine, salt, and other condiments. Burnay has small openings, while those with bigger mouths are called wangging. The next crafts that we have is burimat. Burimat is the smoothly woven mat from Bolinao that is made of dried leaves of palm, dyed and woven. Next is laba. Laba is a ball-shaped coil basket of kalinga that is made from finely split rattan and nito vine. It is used for carrying and storing rice or vegetables. Next is lingling o. The lingling o or dinumog is a common ancient artifact symbolizing fertility, prosperity, and love found in the Ifugao, Bontoc, and other Cordillera regions of the northern Philippines. It has a negative space form that be considered the internal female reproductive system, the womb and the birth canal. This fertility symbol captured the feminine essence that nurtures life within itself and gives birth to it. Next is Vakul. Vakul headdress is the headgear for Ivatan women of Batanes that is used to protect them from the heat of the sun and rains. Next is vest. Vests are worn by Ivatan men, farmers. Vakul and vest are made from the leaves of boyavoy, a tree endemic to Batanes. Next is Singkaban. Singkaban of Bulacan is the art of creating an entrance arc and other decorative materials mainly from bamboo. Next is Pastillas wrappers. Pastillas of Bulacan is different from other pastillas in the country. It is a unique, colorful, and intricately designed paper wrapper which is locally known as pabalat or burlas de pastillas. Other Bulacan arts and crafts include firecrackers and goldsmith. Next, we have kiping. Kiping is a traditional Filipino lip-shaped wafer made from glutinous rice. It originated from the city of Lucban, Quezon. It is used to decorate houses during the Pahiyas festival. It can be eaten, grilled, or fried and can be dipped in sugar, vinegar, or other sauce. Then we have the Bicol region is abundant not only in natural fibers of abaca and raffia, but also in their own arts and crafts including baskets, bags, slippers, coin purses, and other crafts. Their crafts designs are simple but colorful. The next craft that we have is the giant lantern. Giant lanterns of Pampanga are known for their special features. Before, giant lanterns of Pampanga uses papel de hapon for coverings, but were then innovated by using colored plastics as a material for covering. In today's ages, Pampanganos use fiberglass and homemade paper for their lanterns. Every lantern has illuminated dancing lights that follow the beat of the music and are controlled by a rotor. Lanterns also come in different designs and geometric patterns. On the other hand, giant lanterns are created using steel, frames, and other locally available materials. Next is accessories and body ornamentation. We have batok. Kalinga tattooing is a form of art that is usually covering the chest and arms. It is considered as a clothing and decorations of the Kalingas. Batok is a thousand-year tattooing tradition that uses indigenous materials like a charcoal mixed with water in a coconut shell, a thorn of a citrus tree as a needle, a bamboo thorn holder, and a bamboo used to tap it. Next is Kabayan Mummies. In Mountain Province, the close examination of the Kabayan mummies revealed that they have body tattoos similar to patterns found in their textiles. Moving on to our lesson, let's have what's more. Did you learn something from the discussion? Now, let's see if you can recognize the arts and crafts from the highlands and lowlands of Luzon. Answer the activity below. Activity number 2, Connect My Friend. As a Filipino, it is good for us to know what arts and crafts are famous in a particular place. Match the pictogram below with the corresponding descriptions by writing the letter of the pictogram in the box beside the description. Moving on to our activity 2.1, compare and contrast. Can you identify the similarities and differences of the textile of Ilocos from the textile of Cordillera Province? How about the textile of Cagayan Valley from the textile of Mountain Province? Compare and contrast the types of textile according to their patterns, designs, colors, and materials used. How did the Filipino artists express their artistic expressions in textiles? In general, how can you describe their attire, fabrics and tapestries, crafts and accessories, and body ornamentation? Now that you have learned the different textiles, fabrics, tapestries, crafts, accessories, and body ornamentations from different places of Luzon, you may now answer the following questions. First, what did you discover about the different arts and crafts of Luzon? Second, how unique are the characteristics of attire, fabrics and tapestries, crafts and accessories, and body ornamentation of highlands and lowlands of Luzon? Third, how important are the different types of attire, fabrics and tapestries, crafts, accessories, and body ornamentation as part of our culture? What I have learned. Now, you can write your own reflections on what you have learned in our lesson. Moving on to the assessment part of our lesson. Choose the best possible answer. Write only the letter of the correct answer on your answer sheet. 1. A dizzying weaving design of Ilocanos that represents the waves of the sea. A. Cain, B. Ginas Palawains, C. Binacol, D. Inabel. The answer is letter C. Binacol. 2. A hand-weaving technique of the Ilocanos that is produced using traditional wooden looms. A. Cain, B. Ginas Palawains, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. 2. The Southern Kalinga women's wrap-around skirts or tapis. A. Cain, B. Ginas Palawains, C. Binacol, D. Inabel. The answer is letter A. Cain. Number 4. A burial cloth woven by female elders of Mountain Province. A. Kadangyan, B. Wains, C. Bakwat, D. Kalado. The answer is letter A. Kadangyan. 5. A clothes made by the Gadangs of Nueva Vizcaya, a belt used by mothers after giving birth. A. Kadangyan, B. Wains, C. Bakwat, D. Kalado. The answer is letter C. Bakwat. 6. A belt with designs composed of continuous zigzag patterns woven in double-faced with braided warps that end as tassels. A. Cain, B. Ginas Palawains, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter B. Ginas Palawains. 7. It has a design that are inspired by natural elements, patterns that depict different landforms, the colors of nature and animals. A. Cain, B. Ginas Palawains, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. 8. The word blank of Ilocanos is literally means woven. A. Cain, B. Ginas Palawains, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. 9. It is a hand-woven fabric made by Ilocanos which is more popularly known as Abel Iloco. A. Cain, B. Ginas Palawains, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter D. Inabel. 10. Bondok's blanket and clothing, a fabric used in Wains, Lufid, and Ginas Palawains. A. Cain, B. Sinusiwan, C. Ikat, D. Inabel. The answer is letter B. Sinusiwan. 11. Some of their textiles are reserved for use only during special occasions such as birth-giving, weddings, and harvesting. A. Tinggians, B. Kalingas, C. Bontoks, D. Gadangs. The answer is letter A. Tinggians. 12. An embroidered formal menswear in the Philippines and it is the most versatile apparel on special occasions like weddings and formal affairs. A. Borda, B. Barong, C. Bordados, D. Gadangs. The answer is letter B. Barong. 13. Bornay, or locally known as tapayan or banga, are earthenware jars crafted by skillful potters with the use of potter's wheel and kiln. A. Laba, B. Buri, C. Bornay, D. Lingling. The answer is letter C. Bornay. 14. A ball-shaped called basket of kalinga that is made from finely split rattan and nito vine. It is used for carrying and storing rice or vegetables. A. Laba, B. Buri, C. Bornay, D. Lingling. The answer is letter A. Laba. 15. A common ancient artifact symbolizing fertility, prosperity, and love found in the Ifugao, Bontoc, and other Cordillera regions of the northern Philippines. A. Laba, B. Buri, C. Bornay, D. Lingling. The answer is letter D. Lingling. 16. Traditional Filipino lip-shaped wafer made from glutinous rice. A. Vakul, B. Vest, C. Keeping, D. Pastillas wrapper. The answer is letter C. Keeping. 17. It is locally known as pabalat or borlas de pastillas. A. Vakul, B. Vest, C. Keeping, D. Pastillas wrapper. The answer is letter D. Pastillas wrapper. 18. The art of creating an entrance arc and other decorative materials mainly from bamboo. A. Singkaban, B. Vakul, C. Keeping, D. Vest. The answer is letter A. Singkaban. 19. A headdress is the headgear for Ivatan women of Batanes that is used to protect them from the heat of the sun and rains. A. Singkaban, B. Vakul, C. Keeping, D. Vest. The answer is letter B. Vakul. 20. Worn by Ivatan men farmers that are made from the leaves of boyavoy, a tree endemic to Batanes. A. Singkaban, B. Vakul, C. Keeping, D. Vest. The answer is letter D. Vest. Now let's have what I can do. Observe your surroundings. Identify a local art in your area, an attire, fabric, tapestries, crafts, accessories, or body ornamentations. Choose a local art in your area and make a sketch of its design, which will reflect the tradition and its functionality in your community or place. Write a 5-sentence description about your artwork. Take a photo of your artwork and submit it to your facilitator through Messenger, email, or other media platforms. This is the rubrics or the criteria that we are going to use. Creativity. We have 10 points if the artwork shows creativity with the following characteristics. First, artworks contain an original design. Next is design should not be copied from other learning resources. Next is the artwork shows tradition and functionality. For 8 points, the artwork shows creativity, however, only 2 characteristics were achieved. And 6 points, we have the artwork shows creativity, however, only 1 characteristic was achieved. And 4 points, if the artwork shows creativity, however, the said artwork does not meet the prescribed characteristics. Next criteria that we have is attractiveness or craftsmanship. So 10 points if the artwork exhibited attractiveness and craftsmanship with the following characteristics. Neatness, look carefully planned, The design obtained a high level of difficulty and complexity. 8 points if the artwork exhibited attractiveness and craftsmanship, however, only 2 characteristics were met. And 6 points if the artwork exhibited attractiveness and craftsmanship, however, only 1 characteristic was met. And 4 points if the artwork exhibited attractiveness and craftsmanship, however, no characteristic was met. And last but not the least criteria is timeliness. 10 points if the artwork was submitted on the set schedule. 8 points if the artwork was submitted 1 day beyond the set schedule. 6 points if the artwork was submitted 2 days beyond the set schedule. And 4 points if the artwork was submitted 3 days beyond the set schedule. And that was the rubrics for our activity. And for your last activity, let's have this stairway to learning. Take a few moments to climb this flight of stairs in order for you to get to the stairway of learning. All you have to do is to gather your learning experiences together and fill in the staircases with the key concepts you learned in the previous sections of this module, arranged from simple to complex. And that is the end of our discussion for Arts and Crafts of Luzon. Thank you.